Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to actually my favorite class on Google Hangout. This has become one of my favorite classes on Nakshatra, and the magic of this is brought by, our very own Dr. Arjun. And today, he's going to be giving us and spelling the secrets out and the knowledge out of Magha Nakshatra in Vedic astrology. So let me not waste your time. Let me just bring him on and let's get started. Welcome.
Hey, Kapiel. Welcome.
Yes. You too.
Good to see you again. Yeah, good to
Absolutely.
see you again, as always. Yeah. So, it's great to be on your channel because I've been getting very good reviews from people.
Oh man, you have no idea. This class has become like a heart and soul for me.
So, Kapiel, today we are going to talk about Magha Nakshatra. So last time we decided that let's do Magha Nakshatra after our discussions. And Magha is actually, it is called Magha in literal sense. It means the magnificent or the mighty, right? Or the increasing, the great. So everything which is related to royalty, regality, all of these, aspects of Magha Nakshatra comes out very clearly.
Okay.
Magha is the 10th nakshatra. Now, when you look at Navatara analysis of nakshatras, which is a different system, in that system, any nakshatra which falls in the 10th from the moon becomes the karma nakshatra. Okay. The 10th also signifies the karma sthan, the natural 10th house of the zodiac is the karma. So somewhere, whenever you look at Magha Nakshatra, it has linkage with your karma, and the karma usually comes from your past lives, right?
Right.
So Magha Nakshatra, you won't be wrong if you say that any planet which sits there brings strong connection with your past life, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the symbol, if you can see there on the first slide, the symbol there is a royal chamber, with a throne. The royal chamber suggests power, status, honor, royalty. So these are typical things when you talk about a royal chamber.
Right.
And the throne in the royal chamber denotes all that which has been inherited. What do you inherit? You inherit genes, you inherit property, you inherit gems, you inherit wealth, you inherit knowledge, you inherit power, you inherit authority, you inherit status. Everything that you inherit in some form or another based on your birth in a particular family, becomes Magha Nakshatra. Okay. So what is Magha? Magha also is linked with the genetic code theory. So now, last time I have seen a lot of people talk about, because I mentioned about Gandanta nakshatras. I had many people talk about Gandantas. Now let me clear this concept about Gandanta, so that people will benefit, that they will know what exactly Gandanta means. Then this is from my perspective, and that is what the Shastras always say, and I'm trying to give you my analysis of Gandanta nakshatras. Now, Gandanta nakshatras, if you notice, they always fall at the intersection of the watery signs and the fiery signs.
Fire signs, yeah.
So you find the Gandanta zone, between Cancer and Leo, and then Scorpio and Sagittarius, Aquarius. Pisces and
Yeah.
Aries, right? So the
Right.
intersection, the point where these two things meet, that becomes the gandanta zone,
Right.
right? So about a degree on each side become very strong gandanta points, maybe
Right.
50 minutes on each side. They become very, very,
Wow. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you look at this nakshatra that we're talking about, Magha Nakshatra, okay, the previous sign is Cancer. It's a watery sign.
Right.
Okay. So if you look at the evolution of human beings, and if you look at the 4 signs that we have, which is
Right.
you look at Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, right?
Yeah.
So signs become the Moksha Sthana or the Mokshakara. Okay, Moksha Sthana,
Right.
which is liberation, spiritual liberation, and all the fiery signs, they become Dharma. So the intersection is between the Dharma sign and the Moksha sign, right?
Right.
Now, if you look at the last nakshatra of Cancer, which is Aslesha, right? Now,
Right.
what does Aslesha is signified by a coiled serpent? That is the symbol. It's a coiled serpent. Okay, and the shakti of Aslesha nakshatra is called as Vishasleshana Shakti. So what is Vishasleshana Shakti? It means the power of this nakshatra is to inflict poison and to destroy the victim. That is Vishasleshana. So if you have taken multiple births, okay, the most of the poison, okay, goes and sits in the Aslesha.
Okay.
Okay. So what does it? Yeah. So even when the Samudra Manthan, when the churning of the celestial ocean happened, where the gods were on one side and the Asuras were on the other side, when the churning happened, that is when even the poison came out, which was apparently drank by Shivji. Okay. And Shivji kept it in his throat.
Okay.
This is where the poison of all our life karma, previous life karmas is sitting here at the throat region. Okay. Now, what happens is whenever somebody has a planet or ascendant or moon in Magha Nakshatra, what it signifies is you have overcome in a previous lifetime, you have overcome these poisonous elements. Okay. Or if you say, yeah. So let me put it in another way. Okay. Now, let me give you something about the mythological story about the Greeks. If you look at Greek mythology, everything is about heroism, So it is very common to see many serpents which were killed by heroes, okay, in the Greek mythology.
Right.
Okay, the many-headed serpents. For example, Hercules, who kills the Hydra, the serpent head. Hydra kills and becomes a hero, right? So, and you look at Krishna as well, right? Krishna becomes popular because the tormenting Kaliga, okay, the snake, the multi-headed snake, he kills the snake and then he becomes, So what it signifies is whenever you have a Magha prominent in anybody's chart, that means you have overcome some of those problems, or you have killed the snake now, and now you have entered the regal sign. Okay, you have entered the royal throne room. Okay, the royal throne room. That is what it signifies. So, if you look at the symbol there, it basically means that the royal chamber, okay, is your body. Is your body.
Right.
Okay. And the throne sitting there is the soul. Okay. So the body is only carrying the soul. So the symbology there is you have taken birth in a Ketu Nakshatra, apparently, is because you have overcome certain, challenges of the previous lifetime. Okay. So let me give you another analogy there in the same context. The other analogy that I would give is think of a book that you're reading, okay? And whenever you want to take a pause and take a break, or you want to come back to the book again, you put a book, what do you call that? Bookmark.
A bookmark, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So imagine this Gandanta zone is just like a bookmark. Okay? What is a bookmark? You have finished only a few pages of the book, and you put a bookmark, and you go, your life has come to an end.
Right.
Now you're taking birth again, and you are starting from not from the beginning of the book, but you're starting from where the bookmark was placed. So this life begins from where the bookmark was placed, and that is why you come into the Ketu element.
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah.
Okay. So see, if you look at Ketu, okay, who rules this nakshatra. Now Ketu is called as the headless, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't have a head, right?
Absolutely.
So now if you look at the head, the human head, you find that all the indriyas, when I say indriyas, this means the 5 senses, okay?
Yeah.
Which is taste, smell, sight, hearing, everything, the 5 senses, the touch, all of this are in the head. So imagine a life where you do not have the head. Okay, that means a Ketu nakshatra signifies that you have enjoyed the materialistic things in your past life because of the indriyas, and this life, wherever Ketu is sitting, you only have to enjoy the spiritual, because it doesn't have a head. It cannot sense things.
Right.
It's just got the body.
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah.
So that means Ketu, wherever it sits in any chart, it signifies that those experiences that you already had is what Ketu, understands. Ketu is, if suppose it is sitting in the 7th house, right? Ketu.
Yeah. Yeah.
What it signifies that marriage and relationships, you wouldn't take them seriously. Why? Because you already experienced those in the past immediate life.
Right.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
And Ketu is a guardian of our past karmas. He's a guardian. Okay. But what he does is he releases those karmas whenever they are ripe to experience it. Okay. And we experience those things in this life.
Okay.
Okay. So Magha Nakshatra and Gandanta, when I'm talking about, okay, let me give you the concept is you are born in the placenta of your mother or in the womb of the mother, and you are in water. Okay.
Yeah.
You are in the water element. Then you come, then you are born, you come on earth, okay? You come and you interact on the earth. That is the earthy element. You breathe air, okay? That becomes the, airy element, okay? And then you are burnt down to, burnt down after you die to dust, and that is the fiery element.
Fiery element, yeah.
So now what does, so what does this theory give you is, water is always your past. That means you are born in the placenta, you are in the past. Okay? Fire is always future. Right? And what are the two other elements? Earth and air. Earth is about experiencing currentness and experiencing the material. So you are materialistic oriented. If you have more earthy elements, planets sitting in earthy signs, that means you are current focused and you are more materialistic oriented. If you have more planets sitting in an Aries sign, that means you are current oriented and you are more attachment focused. Okay? Or attachment is what? So what happens is, whenever there is a past element which is watery sign and the future element, okay, when they come together, that is when they form the Gandanta. So which means certain things from your past are coming and they become your future.
Okay. Unfinished things from the past.
Unfinished things from your past.
Okay.
So typically when you talk about Magha Nakshatra, why I'm giving you this explanation is people should understand what Magha stands for, how the Gandantas are working. So typically when you say Magha Nakshatra is very prominent, okay, you can have a couple of things that you can say. One is people who have very strong Magha, sometimes you can see they remember their past life. It's commonly seen. If not the past life, certain experiences are they go through in their life, they feel very much connected. It is like whenever you go to a place, you say, okay, I think I've been here before, but you know that you've never been in this lifetime.
Right.
Okay, so you feel very connected with. So typically, Magha is very strong in people who have, like mystics, trance channels, or spiritualists, or crystal gazers. All of these are connecting with the Pitrus, that is the deity of Magha Nakshatras. Some astral entity that they connect with very, very quickly. Okay. So can we go to the next slide?
Yeah.
So the next slide, Kapil.
Yeah, I'm on the next slide. Can you see it?
Okay. I can't see it. Now I can see it. Yeah, now I can see it. Yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm going to discuss today, Kapil, is one is I'm going to talk about Magha Nakshatra. Okay. I'm going to talk about some illustrative charts. I'm going to talk about certain themes. I'm going to take about 3 themes and I'm going to talk about them. Okay. Now, one more thing which I forgot to tell you in previous thing was the theory of Ketu. Okay. The theory of Ketu, which I recollect, I put it in a very famous dialogue from a superstar or a mega star from India, which is Amitabh Bachchan. Okay. I'm going to take his slides later on, but this is something which clearly says what Ketu stands for. His line, which says, "हम जहाँ खड़े हो जाते हैं, line वहीं से शुरू होती है."
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So it means wherever I stand, the line starts from there. Okay, this is his dialogue from his movie Kalia, which was released in 1981, right? Now, this is a very famous dialogue.
Was it Kalia, or was the film that I heard that dialogue when he just did the film 3-4 years ago. I don't know if it was. You remember he had the cap on with the Indian feather on it. That was the movie, I think. I don't know, but I didn't know it was in Philly. Okay, I guess he must have repeated that dialogue.
He repeated the dialogue because it was a legendary dialogue, and it was way back in 1981. Okay, he became famous for this dialogue. Says, "हम जहाँ खड़े हो जाते हैं, line वहीं से शुरू होती है." So where I stand, the line starts from there. So that is Ketu. Always, all dashas, the zodiac sign, all dashas start from Ketu.
Yeah.
If you start from Ketu being the first. So Ketu is wherever Ketu stands, from there all the other planets follow it.
So can you explain that in detail about this Magha Nakshatra? How do you relate that dialogue with Magha?
Yeah. See, what I mean is, suppose you have a moon sitting in Ketu. Okay, your first dasha will be Ketu dasha.
Right.
Correct? Right. And all the other dashas will follow from there.
Okay.
Now, if you take the same theory, what I'm saying about Ketu, if you look at our zodiac, the natural zodiac, it starts with Aries, correct? That's the first sign.
Right.
What is the first nakshatra? It is Ashwini Nakshatra, which is again Ketu.
Yeah.
So Ketu is, basically what we want to say is how important Ketu is. Ketu is, everything starts from Ketu, which means Ketu is the flag, which is the dwaja, which gives you the prominence in life. But why it gives you the prominence is because Ketu represents our genetic makeup. Okay? It represents our DNA code. Okay? So we cannot be born and we cannot progress in life unless we recognize that, our past heritage is inbuilt in us. Whether you like to believe it or not, the DNA that we carry is the DNA of the lineage that we are born in, each of us. That is the genetic makeup. And that is Ketu. Right? So if I have to relate this line with Magha Nakshatra, it means that Magha being ruled by the Pitrus, which are the forefathers or the ancestors or the mains, the departed souls. So people who are related to Magha Nakshatra very prominently, they might be interested in things like being historian, or being antique dealers, or being archaeologists. Why? Because you want to connect yourself with the lineage,
Yeah.
or with the ancestors, the ancients. Okay, connection with civilizations. You know, the previous, you know, the ancient civilizations. Learning,
Right.
wanting to learn about them, wanting to become museum curators. You know, where the old artifacts are being kept.
Yeah.
Interest in being experts in genetic engineering. All of this is connected with Magha Nakshatras.
Okay.
Do you get it? Anything that
Yeah.
which wants you to, or you want to be connected, you know, people with Magha Nakshatras will say, I want to know who my great grandfather was. Let me build up a tree for the family. So these people have very strong Magha traits in them, you know.
Okay.
So that is what I wanted to say about, you know, the Ketu side of things.
Okay.
Another thing which I wanted to tell you about Magha Nakshatra is Magha is a Ugra Nakshatra. Okay? When you say Ugra, Ugra means fierce. Okay, it's a fierce Nakshatra. Now, if you have to know how a Ketu operates, you have to, okay, I'll take that later when you come to the next slide. Let me say why this Ugra nature comes to Magha. Just because Magha has just come onto the throne. It is like you have fought a big battle when you are in Ashlesha. Now you have come and sat on your throne. Okay?
Okay.
And when you've just taken a throne after, you know, a long battle, okay, long drawn battle, you come and you've taken the throne, that is when your ego boosts up, you know, you become extremely powerful with pride. And that, the fierceness comes, or the cruelty comes because you become, you say, I am now the king of the world. You know, that is the sort of the trait you get when you sit on the throne, right? The battle or the tribulation, the trials and tribulations are over now. Now we have been crowned. Okay, the coronation has happened. So that is why it is a very Ugra Nakshatra. It's a very fierce Nakshatra. So what you have to remember is Magha Nakshatra, although it is not always bad, but it is associated with acts which can be destructive, you know, deceiving, some sort of thing, because also it is a downward facing nakshatra. Okay.
Okay.
It's a Adho-mukha. Adho-mukha means downward facing nakshatra. Right. So anything which needs to show that you are powerful by, you know, taking control of people or showing that you are supreme, that is downward looking, right? All activities which shows that you are more powerful.
Right.
See, having said that, the Magha natives also have a unique ability to harness their divinity, you know, to become even great human beings. That is always there. If you can balance your the newfound power, the newfound prominence, the newfound supremacy, okay, or the newfound status, if you can balance that with the spiritual aspects, because Ketu is also about taking on the spiritual journey.
Yeah.
Okay. But Magha will also say that you have done so much, you know, in Ashlesha. Now you have to enjoy. You've just got your throne. So you have your enjoyment, you have your materialistic side of things. But at the same time, you have to be within the boundaries of the royal chamber.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So somewhere people who are born in Magha are connected with their previous life. The root of their experiences, okay, are all in the previous life. So all the merits of their previous life they bring, or demerits also they bring.
Okay.
Right? So let's move on to the next slide so I can talk about. We're on the next slide? Come.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't see it?
Right. Yeah, I can see it now. No, I think it's halfway. I can only see halfway.
No, it's full. I think something's wrong on your side. My screen shows full slide.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Now I can see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Yeah. So what I was telling you about Magha, Magha is also called as the star of power. Okay. Now,
Okay.
if you look at the rightmost side, it shows Magha Nakshatra is constitutes 6 stars in the constellation of Leonis. Leonis is the lion. Okay, the royal
Yeah.
sign Leo, and it's a lion. And the Yogatara means the most brightest star in the constellation is called as Regulus. Okay, Regulus in the past is considered to be the seat of power. Okay, in the night sky, it is a very bright star. It is also sometimes called as the little king because it is in the royal sign. Some people saw it as a royal throne. Some people saw it as a lion, the constellation of Leonis. Okay, and it is sometimes also called as I think I've said, little king. Okay, is or a little sun. It is so bright. Okay, it is multiple times, I think, 500 600 times as big as the sun. Okay, but it's so far away, but it still is a very bright star. Regulus sits in the heart. It is believed that Regulus is a star which sits in the heart of the lion. Okay, now where does the heart come? Now if you look at Magha Nakshatra, what is the ruler of Magha Nakshatra?
Ketu.
It is Ketu. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you take Magha Nakshatra as the Lagna, imagine you just take it as the sign, Leo as the Lagna.
Yeah.
Ketu becomes the ruler of which house?
Ketu becomes the ruler of the 4th house.
Absolutely. Ketu becomes the co-lord of Scorpio, which is the 4th house.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4th house is the heart.
Yeah.
Okay. 4th house is the motherland. 4th house is also about mother, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it really means in my later slides, but just keep this in the back of your mind. Ketu is the lord of the 4th house from Magha Nakshatra. If you take Leo as the ascendant, it becomes the 4th house. So anything to do with heart, anything to do with motherland. So all the battles, if you see most of the battles which are like the Greek mythology talks about, all the battles are about fighting for your motherland, fighting to put the flag on that land and to say this belongs to us.
Yeah.
This land belongs to us, and we will protect it with death. Even death come, we will protect our land. So this is the Ketu element. Okay, this is Magha. Why? Because the Greeks wanted to be honored after their death. Okay, the greatest thing for a warrior, a Greek warrior, was to die on the battlefield and to be called as the greatest among the people, the martyrs who have died.
Right.
Because you become great among your ancestors. Right?
Okay.
This is the desire. This is the desire or the basis below. I'm coming to that slide later on, but I'll just give you the hint. I'm coming to that. They say the desire is, or the basis below is, to be called as the greatest among your ancestors. That is the desire of this nakshatra.
Okay.
Yeah. So now Pitrus, we have talked about. Let us say who these Pitrus are. The Pitrus or Pitris or whatever you call them, however you say, they are nobody but our forefathers. Okay?
Right.
And the forefathers of humanity. Okay? And their mission is to guide their children onto the right course of life. That is the mission of our forefathers. Okay, so these the mains or the Pitris or the Pitrus or the forefathers or our ancestors are all a collective world of departed souls which controls the Magha Nakshatra. Okay, the departed souls control Magha Nakshatra. And we as the current generation, we try to repay their debts or some of their karmic genetic patterns that they have transmitted to us. Okay, we try to pay that, or we try to get over that. And especially in the Hindu Vedic system, it happens in a particular period. It is called as Pitru Paksh. Pitru Paksh means it is the month of the mains or the month of the ancestors. Okay, It is during this time that we pay oblations to our ancestors by doing tarpan or by a ritual, which is a Vedic ritual, which is called as Shraddha. Okay.
Okay.
So what does it? The belief is, if you do these and appease our ancestors, they bestow on us health, wealth, knowledge, longevity. Basically, what you're trying to do is we are helping them to progress spiritually on their journey to the heavens or wherever they are going. Whichever direction they are going in. Now, which direction they are moving in? Is something is been talked about in our Vedas, which says there are two paths for the soul and the journey. Okay, from the earth to the heavens, right? One path is called as the Devayana. What is the Devayana? Devayana means the path of the Devas. Okay, it takes you into the realm of the sun. Okay, what is the sun? Is the soul. So your soul departs and then it moves towards the Devayana path of the gods, and it merges with the sun. Okay? So that is where most of the souls are, the liberated souls. And this road or this mark in our Vedic system is called as Uttarayan. What is Uttarayan? Uttarayan is whenever the sun is moving towards the north of the earth pole, it is called as Uttarayan. Okay? The journey of the sun from the equator to the north direction is called as Uttarayan. There is then Pitrayana. Pitrayana means leading you into the realms of the ancestors. Okay, so like we ordinary mortals, okay, we go in the realm of the moon. It is the path of the ancestors which takes you to the moon. Okay, both are luminaries. It is called as the path of the luminaries. Both are luminaries. Okay, one is the original source, which is the sun, so you get liberated. The other is only a reflection of the original source. So that is why you go there and you come back and take rebirth.
I see. Okay.
So the path or the road, the path or the road that you take, as per our Vedic system, is called as Dakshinayan. What is Dakshinayan? Is whenever the sun starts moving from the equator towards the south. Okay, that is why south direction is called the direction of the dead, because the sun is actually moving down from the equator. So 6 months it is Uttarayan, 6 months it is Dakshinayan. So all liberated souls, want to die in Uttarayan because they do not want to take rebirth. Okay. Now, if I know this is what I'm going to talk now is maybe not the most correct part of it. There are so many controversy theories. There is always a belief that why did the Americans do not go to the moon again?
Right.
When they have been to the moon once, why didn't they go there again?
Yeah.
Okay. One of the theories which people say is the people, the astronauts who went there, they were astonished with the amount of alien activity on the moon.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. Very true.
The activity on the moon was tremendous.
Yeah.
Okay, of aliens. That is why one of the the theories talk about why nobody has been to the moon again is because who are these aliens? These aliens are there because of our ancestors being there. Ancestors. See, one thing we have to know that what we know today is nothing compared to what our ancients knew.
Oh, absolutely.
The ancients knew much. So aliens also come from different zones to come and learn from. That is why you say wherever your moon is placed, you're born because of the moon. I said that in my last video. That is because your journey of rebirth is happening from the moon. Okay? If you go to the sun, your soul has merged with the sun. Anyway, I know that I'm taking too much of, but this is important before I can go.
Oh no, this is amazing. Yeah, this is amazing. Keep going.
So let me tell you, if you see the slide in between, it shows a person who's sitting there with a pandit, which is a priest. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, many civilizations in the past were into ancestor worship. Okay. And so did our Vedic civilization, right? The ancient Mohenjo-daro or Harappa. So how did we try to propitiate our ancestors or the Pitris? So we offered them Shrad or on a Krishna Paksha. What is Krishna Paksha? It means the waning moon. The waning moon is called Krishna Paksha. Okay, and the ancestors are very active on a Amavasya night when there is no moon. No moon is when their activity is very high because they're sitting in the moon there, the little moon, and when there is no moon for us, that is when they are very active. So that is when, whenever any oblations are done to our ancestors, they bless us because they are very active during that time to bless us. Okay, the ritual that we follow typically starts by the Pandit giving you a kush grass. A kush grass is made, okay, as a ring, and you wear it in the ring finger. Okay, why the ring finger signifies the sun. Sun is the soul. Yeah. Okay, so the ring finger of the right hand directly connects to your heart. Okay, so it is the left finger or the right finger. I think this is the left finger, which is the nerve runs directly to your heart, and that is why when you say we get engaged, we get married, is always the ring finger. You put the thing on.
Yeah.
You want that person to be close to your heart, right? So that is the reason. Yeah. So you put that kush grass, then you make certain offerings which are called as pindadan. What is pindadan? Pinda means they make balls made out of cooked rice, barley flour, ghee, and sesame.
Okay.
Okay. And then what happens is you give oblations to 3 generations preceding you.
Okay.
3 generations preceding you. So that means your father, your grandfather, and your great-grandfather. So the Shrad as such, you cannot do a Shrad if your father is alive.
Right.
Okay. Only your father can. Yeah. Only your father can do the oblations. You cannot. After your father, it is your right. The right to do the oblations.
Right.
Right. Now 3 preceding generations. So a soul, okay, who lives. Imagine he lives his entire life. He actually connects between 6 generations typically. Okay, on an average he connects with 6 generations. How does he connect with 6 generations? 3 preceding generations of your father, your grandfather, great-grandfather, and yourself being 1 generation, and 2 generations, your son and your great-grandson. So 6 generations. So you become the connecting point between your ancestors and your your future.
Yeah.
Right? So you do all the shastras. That means you are actually helping your future as well as your past. So when you do those things, both of them flourish. Your future will also flourish, and your past also. Now, the theory, what I want to tell you here about karma theory is, when you say your ancestors, right? Ancestors are nobody but you, yourself. It is a soul. It is your soul which has taken rebirth, but it is these ancestors are also a part of you. So basically, you're trying to help yourself from a different lifetime.
Okay.
Okay, and the future is your seeds. So you want to ensure that your seeds are going to be healthy, so that they can procreate and take your lineage ahead.
What I wanted to ask you,
so if you look,
I've heard that if a person only has daughters, that means you have paid your ancestors' debt off. That's why you don't have a male son coming in your family. Is it something like that true? Because I've heard that from other astrologers.
Yeah, it is true as per our shastras. Okay. But today our shastras also speak about performing something called as Sarva Pitra Amavasya, which means it is a ritual, a new moon of all fathers. In this rite, okay, even if there is a daughter born in the family, if the daughter has a son, okay, he has got the right to pay oblations to his mother, and to his mother's lineage.
Oh, okay. I see.
Okay, so if you have a daughter, if the daughter has a son, our shastra says they can provide oblations during a ritual called as during a period called as Sarva Pitra Amavasya, which is a new moon of all fathers.
Okay.
Okay, and but this rite has been forgotten. Okay, typically you do Shraddh whenever the departed souls Tithi. Tithi is when they were originally born, the moon Tithi is operating, that is when you do a Shraddh. Okay, otherwise, if you want to do a Shraddh, you can do it in the Pitru Paksh, which is the month of the means, the month of the ancestors. That is when you can do, because they are very active on earth during that time.
Okay.
So on Amavasya Tithi, during Krishna Paksh is the waning moon, it is believed that the ancestors drink the nectar of the moon.
Okay.
And they get energetic. For another month, they become energetic. And their energy wanes. Okay, after a month. Again, an Amavasya comes, you give them the food, they become energetic again.
Right.
Okay, so always remember, in our rituals, it is always, whenever the offerings, the food is given, the Vedic system ensures that the first bite is had by a crow. Because it is believed that our ancestors come in the form of crows and accept our offerings.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so always you do Shraddh, yeah, you feed it to the crows first, then to the cows, then to a dog, then to a Brahmin. Only then you can have the offerings later on. So the two things which are a must is a crow eating the oblation food and a Brahmin eating. Okay, when these two people have eaten, afterwards, then you can have your food, or you can have the offerings that you have given it to your Pitrus. Right? That is how you propitiate your spirits of the ancestors who are departed.
Okay.
Okay. So Yama becomes the lord of the Pitris. He's called as Pitri Pati. Okay, what is Pitri Pati? It means he is the lord of the forefathers. Also remember, Yama was called as the first mortal to die and go to the heavens. So he knew the path of the heavens. Okay? So that is how you link. Okay. So can we go to the next slide? I think I've spent enough time on giving you the background, which was very important.
Oh, yeah.
Now we can go and I can explain you on a fly.
I'm on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
great.
there.
Now, if you look at the symbol there, I've shown you a throne, and I've also told you the signification. This is an energy flashcard that I always use, and people who have watched my videos before, you know, I use these flashcards not only as visual aids. Okay, I use them even for meditating. And the root mantra for this nakshatra is called as Dham. It's called as Dham or Gham. Gham. G starts with the G, right?
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. So the symbol there is a royal throne. Okay. Another symbol that is, which is often used with Magha Nakshatra is called as a palanquin. Okay. A palanquin, if you look at a palanquin, it has two people carrying it on a rod, and you have the seat. So a palanquin was usually used in the ancient times for somebody who was very prominent. Okay. After marriage, you take the bride in the palanquin.
Oh yeah.
Or a man of repute, or the king.
Yeah.
Okay, they never walked. They were always taken on a palanquin. Now, a palanquin, again, the symbology signifies that the palanquin is the body, and the person who's sitting in is the soul. And the soul is quite prominent, and that is why he's got that seat of a palanquin. So any soul which is born in Magha, the symbology signifies it's a important soul which has taken rebirth.
Now, do you mean this by simply moon nakshatra, or any other planet could be in Magha and symbolizes this?
Yeah. It can be any other planet, but the prominent ones would be if it is ascendant, moon, sun, or Atmakaraka. So when these people come, you can say, you know, or karmic planets. Okay, a Ketu or a Rahu coming there, it can, you know, tweak the results. But A prominent is usually we take the moon. Yes, moon, if it comes there, it means it is a rebirth of a great soul. Okay, where he has left an unfinished journey in the previous life, he's coming to, complete that journey. Okay. It doesn't signify that it is liberation. Do not get me wrong. It doesn't mean that you are going to go and get liberated. Not necessary. Okay. But there is some unfinished things that you want to come and finish. Okay. Now Ketu. So Ketu, why are you born in a Magha Nakshatra? You're a prominent soul. You're an eminent soul. Why Ketu? Because Ketu is the Dvaja, is the flag. You have come to help put your stamp of the soul on this planet. Okay? You have taken birth in a Magha Nakshatra because you have come some unfinished work, and now you have come in a Ketu Nakshatra. You want to put a stamp of your soul saying, this is what I've done. Okay? So you're leaving a flag behind. So many people who have Ketu sitting in Magha Nakshatra, you can say if they reach, if other things support in their chart, okay, they will reach a position where even after their death, they will be talked about. They will remain, evergreen. Their glory will be sung for generations to come. So that is Ketu. Okay.
I see. Okay.
But however, remember Ketu in Magha Nakshatra, because Ketu being a rebellious planet, it can give you a tendency to revolt against authority. So people who have rebellious nature, against the government, because it's a royal sign, ruled by sun. Sun is authority, sun is the government. So when Ketu comes there, it can give you certain rebellious tendencies to reform the society or reform or change. And remember, Magha is a fierce nakshatra. So its ways might not be always, following the right code of conduct. It can also use, fierce ways to achieve its goals. Okay. Anyway, then I think the other aspects there, Artha. I'm talking about Rakshas Gand. What is Rakshas Gand? Why is this nakshatra connected with Rakshas? Now, the only shadow issue I see with Magha Nakshatra is because Magha Nakshatra is connected with Pitrus or Pitris or ancestors, but some of the souls, okay, might not be good souls. Okay, they are in our system, they are called, in the system, we call them by different names. We call them Bhutas, Pretas, and all these Pishachis. These are the three terminologies we use, which is different forms of ghosts or astral entities which have negativity with them. Okay. So the only shadow issue that I see with Magha Nakshatra and its association with Rakshas Gand, which is Rakshas Gand not only means evil, it also means that you are going on a materialistic path. Okay, that is your goal. But Magha Nakshatra becomes a very significant nakshatra for tantric rituals or black magic. Why? Because on Amavasya night, the black magicians, if it is a Magha Nakshatra moon, they can use that period to create a lot of trouble for whomever they want. Because why? Because they take help of these, the negative astral entities from Magha Nakshatra, which are the Bhutas, the Pretas, the Pishachis. Right? Another element associated with Magha is water. And I have repeatedly told about this in even my last lectures, that water has always been a reservoir of our past. Okay, I said water is because you are born in the placenta of the womb of your mother, where you are in water, and water is your past. Okay, and what I call water today, water I call it as blue gold. I call it blue gold. The next war, if it ever were to happen in future, in 20, 30 years time, it will be for water and not for power, because water becomes so precious for us. Okay, pure drinking water will be something which will be a rare commodity, because if you do not revere what our past are, if you're not going to be kind on our environment, we will get polluted waters in future. So water is a very strong element. We have to recognize. I call it blue gold. It is the future of us. If not for water, we won't have been alive on this planet. So please understand, water has its own element, and you pray to water also. And that is praying to the Pitrus. Whenever you do Pitru, you always flow the water from your hand on the pinja. Okay, on the second. Why? Because water is saying, please help me wash away my past sins. Water flows. Water flows away from you. It is taking some of the sins from you. That is what it means. Okay. Now the animal symbology is a male rat. Okay. If you know the rat, okay, you have heard of people. Some people say, I have a rat menace in my house. You know, I have so many rats that trouble me. The rat is also a highly sexual being, or highly sexual. It can reproduce very quickly. Very quickly, it can reproduce. Okay, and put so many litters or whatever you call it. And this is the nature of Magha. Why? Because Magha wants to procreate. Why? Because it wants to take its lineage ahead. Yeah. Multiple children. So that element is here. But the shadow side of that element gives you, your sexual desires towards the opposite sex is very high here. Okay. If you cannot control your indriyas, your senses, then your Ketu is activated, your fourth house is activated by the theory that I told you before. Okay. Anyway, so you have to see, there is a mythological story of Ganesh and a demon Asura called as Gajamukh. He had a face, Gajamukh, face of a rat. Okay, and he was an Asura, a demon. And he created problems for everybody. So what does Ganesh do? He goes, he breaks one of his tusks and throws and kills the demon. Okay, and the dying demon, he says, I did all of this because I wanted to take a boon from you and take your attention. So Ganesh ji says, tell me what is the boon you want. He says, I always want to be with you. So then Ganesh says, okay, be with me as my mount or my vehicle. Okay, that is why rat becomes the mount of Ganesh ji. So what does it signify? That all problems, the rat menace or whatever rats can create, the troubles for you, a Ganesh, Ganesh is what? Even Ketu. Ketu is Ganesh, right? He was also the headless. He was given another head, correct? Right. So Ganesh is connected with Ketu. Why? Because Ganesh's head was chopped off by Shivji, correct? And a new head was given to him. So he embodies, he's got the same qualities of Ketu. But Ganesh ji, we call as somebody who can remove obstacles, is because he's sitting on obstacle itself. That is the rat. I see. Okay. Okay. It might be so small, the rat might be very small, but the problems it creates can be havoc. Right? So certain things, certain problems you see are very small, but they become, the problem itself can snowball into a big problem. And that is why you want Ganesh to come and control. So Magha Nakshatra can be controlled even by, propitiating Ganesh ji.
So I had another question. You said that the fourth house will activate or does something wrong. In what way can you tell us that that fourth house energy, like that last nakshatra class we did, how is that gonna activate? What is it gonna do? I mean, can you explain more on that?
Yeah. See, if you remember when we did the last nakshatra, which was Jyeshtha, I said it was activating the 8th house and the 11th house, correct? Yeah. Okay, that is because Jyeshtha is Scorpio and the ruler of Jyeshtha was Mercury. And Mercury rules Gemini, which is 8th from it. Okay? Yeah. And it rules Virgo, which is 11th from it. Right. So it activates these two houses. Now the same theory I apply here. Why I say 4th house? Because from Magha, okay, Ketu is the ruler of Magha and Ketu becomes the co-lord of Scorpio, which is the 4th house.
No, what I'm trying to understand is what does a person has to do wrong or right in order for that house to become activated?
Anything that you do going against the norms of Magha Nakshatra, which is one main thing what people do not do today is they've forgotten our ancestors. We do not know. We have only taken their inheritance and forgotten, their sacrifices that they have done. Whatever they have done for us, and the DNA which runs. Okay.
Yeah.
See, this is something I also wanted to tell you because it's a very good question. Whenever you look at Magha Nakshatra and you have some planets there, and you recognize that your ancestors have got certain negative karmic tendencies or karmic patterns. Now, you as a person, if you recognize that, okay, now I recognize that I have certain debts that I have to pay, or karmic patterns, or vasanas, we call it vasanas. Okay, vasanas are patterns, life patterns, genetic disorders, okay, which are encoded in the DNA. If I do good things and take care of my children well, if I take care of my ancestors, I pay respect to my elders.
Yeah.
Okay, I bow down to them. It's not about literally bowing down to them. It means whenever they say something, give them a ear. Patiently listen to them. These are the things. If you neglect them, that means you are spoiling somewhere your Ketu and also the fourth house. What is fourth house? Fourth house is also your education. Fourth house is also your mother. I will show you certain charts later on. When people have spoiled relationships with their parents, especially mother, because fourth house, they have had a lot of genetic problems. They have had a lot of problems in their life which they come, and they do not know. They do not know it is because of these ancestors. Okay. So the fourth house connection, I will explain to you with a few charts when I'm taking Pitru dosh. I'm going to talk about Pitru dosh later on. Okay, and spirits.
Okay.
In a broader sense, I'm going to talk about. There are multiple ways to look at Pitru dosh. This is just one hint which I'm giving you. Okay. So I will show you how, when your relationship with your mother spoils and you have certain planets in Magha, those planets get activated.
Okay.
Okay. So when you have certain things like that, then what you have to do is, on a good day, okay, if it is a Rohini Nakshatra or moon passing through Cancer in Pushya Nakshatra, you should take that day to go give an offering. It could be milk. You can give milk to your mother, okay? Or you can give silver. Anything which is moon component, you give it to her and touch her feet, and you take the blessings. That is the simplest thing that you could do, which can reverse certain karmic patterns which you will be going through. Now, having recognized that and then going through propitiating your ancestors, you can lessen the genetic, or you can mutate. You can do some mutation of your genetic, genes, so that your future generations are not going to suffer from them. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is about taking your future ahead, but also to have healthy offsprings with less genetic diseases and disorders.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, the tree there, coming back, the tree there is a banyan tree. If we look at the banyan tree, a banyan tree, they say the roots are equally as deep as the tree itself, or even deeper. So it shows your connection with the earth, or the connection, or your roots are strong, which means your ancestors have been very strong. Okay. Even the branches of the tree, they go and they firmly root themselves, and that is why a banyan tree is connected with Magha Nakshatra. Okay.
Okay.
So can we go to the next slide?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me take the first double point, or the key theme that I want to talk about, associated with Magha Nakshatra, is prominence. Okay, royalty, power, status, and honor. All these things come whenever you have Magha Nakshatra operating, or the energy is operating, or people who are born. So people who are taking rebirth in certain families over and over again in Magha Nakshatra, okay, they might be important families, okay, or they could be families where the soul is taking birth, which could be rulers of the country, or they could be CEOs of any company, or they could be political leaders. They could be the presidents of some nation, or they could be ministers, prominent ministers. All. So this connection comes very strongly in Magha. Okay, royal status, power status, and honor. Okay, honor usually even after they are gone, people will talk about them when they're prominent karmic planet sitting there. So can we go to an example chart with an illustration?
Yeah.
The next slide, please. Okay. I've taken, Bill, many times, even I think in the last lecture when I took Pratika, I took Bill. I love Bill, and there's so much written about him. We go back to Bill again. So this is a chart of Bill Clinton. So here I'm going to show you that Sun is sitting in Magha Nakshatra, first pad.
Yeah.
Okay. Sun is also Jnati Karaka, which is troublemaker. Okay. So having said that, Sun sitting in Magha first pad. What is the first pad? First pad is the Navamsha pad, is the Aries Navamsha pad of Magha Nakshatra. Aries Navamsha pad. Okay. Where the Sun is exalted.
Yeah.
Okay. And Saturn is debilitated.
Yeah.
Correct? In the Aries Navamsha pad.
Yeah.
So anybody who is born in the first pad with Sun there can give them leadership qualities or eminence, great eminence. Okay, because Sun is exalted there. Okay.
Yeah.
And when you say Sun is exalted, it is also sitting in a fiery sign. It is an exalted sign, and it is sitting in its own Rashi, which is its own sign, Leo.
Yeah.
Which means the Sun becomes so bright that it doesn't allow normal people to come near it. Why? Because of its brilliance, it can, burn people who come near it. That is why it says it gives you such leadership qualities. Okay. The only thing that you also see from this chart is Sun is sitting in the 12th house also. So when he was in the government, and it is a Jnati Karaka, because when he was in the government, it created a lot of problems for him. Okay, all the scandals.
Yeah.
I have told you about rat, the male rat, and the sexual drive, the attraction towards the opposite sex.
Yeah.
That is what manifested in this chart. But that is not the only reason I've taken this chart. This chart, I'm telling you that amongst all the presidents since World War II, he had the highest approval rating as a US president.
Yep. I lived through it. Yeah.
Despite all the scandals that he went through, when he was leaving his office, he was the highly rated, as per public opinion, highly rated US president. Can you beat that? Despite the scandals. So that is the Sun. Okay. You should understand that he has done so much good, as he was a great strategist, a political strategist. Okay, his reforms, people still talk about, the children's reforms that he got. What was that? The health insurance for the, if I recollect, something that he did way back. So, Sun is also the natural 5th house lord, of Leo, related to children. So something, and it is in Magha. Magha is, I told you, Magha is anything related to inheritance of genes, inheritance of wealth, inheritance of throne, everything. So you are inheriting something from this leader. So he has given something for the people. Okay, he was a highly rated guy as a president, despite the scandal. So I have shown you through this chart how Magha operates on the negative side, and also how it has given him prominence, royalty, power, and status. And even after he has stepped down from the presidency, he still is very much revered in the world. He sits on the boards of some of the biggest companies, the Fortune 10 companies in the world. I think I might stand corrected, but I do not know whether he is sitting on the board of Goldman Sachs. I do not know, but I'm saying something like that, where he sits very prominent. Okay, he's a great orator. He's been invited everywhere, and the charity that he runs under William J. Clinton Foundation, he addresses the cause of prevention of AIDS and global warming. You see, what are the activities he's trying to do with the sun setting in Magha Nakshatra? Global warming. Why? I told you, sun is the brightest there. Correct?
Yep.
It will burn down everything. Yeah. So basically, he's trying to do charity. It's the 12th house of charity. Sun is sitting in the 12th house of charity. So he's doing certain things. Prevention of AIDS, trying to help global warming. So somewhere, without his knowledge, he is activating his mother. Okay, and he's going in the right direction. Okay, and he will be recognized even in future generations as one of the greatest presidents of the United States of America.
Yep.
Right? Okay, so we can go to the next slide. Okay, this is the chart of the previous Prime Minister of India, Rajiv Gandhi. Rajiv Gandhi, what he was popularly known as.
Right.
He comes from a lineage of the Nehru clan. Okay, his grandfather was the first Prime Minister of India. Then his mother was the Prime Minister of India. Then he became the 7th Prime Minister of India and took office after the assassination of his mother. So you see, I said 4th house. Watch 4th house. Assassination of the mother is 4th house. And whenever the assassination happened, he came into prominence because sun got activated. Okay, wherever sun and Jupiter are sitting in Magha Nakshatra. Okay.
Yeah.
So Ketu got activated. Okay.
Yep.
When his mother died, Ketu got activated, sun got activated. Why sun got activated? Leo, ruler of Leo. Why Ketu got activated? Magha Nakshatra, ruler of Magha Nakshatra. So he came into office, he took office, sun and Jupiter sitting in Magha in the 2nd path. Okay. However, his term in office became very scandalous. A lot of scandals came out. Okay, he was embroiled in the Bofors scandal, which is still running. The Bhopal gas tragedy happened. Many things. There were so many things. Why? Ketu sitting in the 6th house of his enemies. From his Lagna, Leo Lagna. Okay, Ketu sitting in the 6th house. So enemies and opposition. He came to power. Sun became very popular. He is in Magha. Jupiter is in Magha. He became the president.
Yeah.
Now look. What it says here is in 1991, after his death, Indian government posthumously awarded Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, the Bharat Ratna. Bharat Ratna is the country's, India's highest civilian award. Okay, so you see how even after his death, he has got honored.
Yeah.
Okay. Second thing, sun is So you see how things are, 5th house, okay, and 8th house. So he's inherited the throne from his mother. Jupiter is the 5th house and the 8th house lord, posited in Magha. Okay, so after the death of his mother, he's inherited the throne of his mother. So he became the Prime Minister of India.
Yep.
You get it? Sitting with sun.
Absolutely.
Okay, 8th lord. Jupiter is 8th lord. Is also the 5th lord. 5th lord is Purva Punya. Okay, that was his Purva Punya.
Yeah.
And sun is government in the royal sign of Leo. So he inherited the throne, right? Giving him a lot of prominence, okay, power, status, and honor. So all that, Prime Minister of India or a state leader of any country, needless to say, he had all the power, he had all the status.
Yep.
But where I wanted to say is he was still honored even with the highest civilian award even after his death. That is Ketu. Okay? Right. Can you go to the next slide, Kapiel? Okay. Now, before we go to the next theme, I wanted to talk to you about the shakti of this nakshatra. Now, the Shakti of Magha Nakshatra is called as Tyaga Shepana Shakti. What is Tyaga Shepana? It is the power to leave your body. That is Tyaga Shepana. Okay, you can come out of your body, or you can do astral travels.
Okay.
The foundation above and the foundation below, it means mourning and leaving the body. Now, what does foundation above means? It means your connection with the heavens, foundation above. Okay, your higher consciousness connecting with the heavens. Foundation below is your connection with the earthly plane. Okay, so your subconscious. So your earthly plane subconscious thing is you have the ability, if you are spiritually evolved, to leave your body and travel. Okay, because of the Shakti of the desire, as I said, I had given you mythology of the Greeks. Okay, the Greek warriors who wanted to die on the battlefield. That is because they wanted to flourish in the world of the ancestors. Okay, so with these themes, let us go to the next theme. Can you go to the next slide? So this brings us to the theme of near-death experiences and out-of-body experiences, OBE, out-of-body experiences. Okay, why does this give you that? Okay, is because of the Tyaga Shepana Shakti. It's the power to leave your body. Okay, that is where the theme comes, near-death experiences. Can you go to the next slide? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. This is the chart of the Emperor of Bollywood.
Yeah.
He's the Shahenshah. That's what
Yeah.
they call him. Okay, the Emperor.
Yeah.
He's a mega star. He's not a superstar. He's a mega star. He's a legend. Okay, he is Amitabh Harivansh Bachchan.
Yeah. You know, his last name is actually Shrivastava.
In this chart, what I wanted to point out. Sorry, Kapil?
I was saying his last name is actually Shrivastava. Like me.
Sorry, I didn't get. Yeah.
I was saying his last name is actually
What did you say? I just missed.
Shrivastava.
Oh yeah, actually he's Srivastava. Harivansh Rai Bachchan is what is, but he's actually a Srivastava. That is right. You're right, absolutely right. Now, Mr. Bachchan, okay, if you see here in his chart, the Rahu is sitting in Magha Nakshatra in the fourth house, or sorry, fourth pad.
Yeah.
The fourth pada. Okay. Now, what he became very popular, not popular, I would say, one of incidents which happened in his life was in the year, in July, 26 July 1982, when he was filming for his epic movie called Coolie. Coolie means the unskilled laborer, who carries your bags whenever or the porter, whatever you call it, the porter. He was in this movie, and he had a fatal accident. Okay, he was doing a fight scene with his co-star Puneet Desar, and Bachchan was performing his own stunts, right?
Yeah.
And because of that, in one of the scenes, he fell on the corner of a table, and the table struck him in his abdomen, resulting in a splenic rupture, internal bleeding. Okay, he was admitted to the hospital, and an emergency, splenectomy was to be done. He was critically ill, and he was at times very close to death. They say, people say that he was almost declared death.
Oh my God. Hold on, let me invite Arjun again. I'm trying to invite him again. Let's see if he is able to be back. This is a great class, so don't move. I'm gonna kick your ass. Stay. All right. Uh-oh, there he is. Arjun, are you here? We can only see your pretty face. Your video's not here. Hello? Okay. You're back? Arjun. Hey, Dak. I don't think he can hear me. Doctor. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Your sound is not coming. Are you able to fix it? I don't know. Can you guys hear him? Okay, I can hear you now.
Yeah. I think there was a server error that happened.
Oh.
That's why I couldn't. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, your sound is gone. Your sound is gone. Okay, it's back again. Sound is back.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. See, Rahu here in his chart is sitting in the 7th house, which is a Marak Sthan, okay, the death house.
Right.
Okay. Rahu is also the co-lord of Aquarius, and by that it becomes also the Lagnesh, posited in the 7th house.
Yeah.
Okay. Giving him these death-like tendencies or near-death experiences. Okay. Now there is a famous dialogue from this movie which became, a legendary dialogue. And this I want to tell. I know there are many viewers who do not understand Hindi, but this is the punchline of this whole chart. He says, "तेरे हाथ में मौत का सामान है तो मेरे सीने पे खुदा का नाम है."
Yeah.
तेरे हाथ में मौत का सामान है तो मेरे सीने पे खुदा का नाम है. Okay, it means if you have an item of death in your hand, which is signifying a gun.
Yeah.
Okay, then I have God's name written on my chest.
Right.
Okay, again, what he's saying is chest. Okay?
Yeah.
He is activating Magha Nakshatra by this dialogue. Okay, now in this chart, look, his movie is called as Coolie. Okay, Coolie means, I said, is the porter. Okay, Coolie is signified by Saturn. Saturn signifies all the hard-working people,
Right.
So Saturn signifies Coolie, right?
Yeah.
And in this movie, his character name was called as Iqbal A Khan.
Okay.
Now, Iqbal Khan is what is signifying your Rahu here. Okay, in this chart. Okay. Now the 7th Lord Sun. Okay, 7th Lord Sun has gone to the 8th house. Okay.
Yeah.
It is sitting with the 5th Lord of stomach, Mercury.
Yeah.
Mercury is the 5th Lord of stomach, and also the 8th Lord of sudden events.
Right.
Okay. Now you see how this thing, whenever he had this accident, and you see Ketu is sitting in Lagna.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've told you 3 things. The movie was called as Coolie. Coolie means the porter. Coolie is signified by Saturn.
Yeah.
Okay. People who work hard. Okay. Second thing that I said is the Sun. Okay, is the 7th Lord is the dispositor of Rahu. Okay, gone to the 8th house of longevity. Okay, a transformation. Sitting with the 5th lord Mercury, which is 5th lord of stomach, and 8th lord of sudden events. Okay,
Yeah.
and Ketu, which is the lord of Magha Nakshatra, where Rahu is sitting, has gone to Lagna. Now, why I told you that is, whenever this incident happened, he was running through his Saturn Mahadasha, Sun Antardasha, and Ketu Pratyantardasha.
Okay.
Ketu is signifying something related to do with the body. Sun is signifying that because it is associated, it's the 7th lord, it's a Marrakesh, okay, death-giving planet.
Yeah.
Okay, Marrakesh, sitting with the 5th lord of stomach. Okay, something related to stomach.
Yeah.
And Saturn is showing whenever he was shooting for the movie Coolie, all these things happened.
Yeah.
It's how you interpret things. You know, how do you connect nakshatras and events in people?
Amazing.
Right?
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so can we go to the next slide? Now this is the slide I put in here for, it's the same Amitabh Bachchan. I'm showing you when he was discharged from the hospital. You remember I told you he met with this accident when he was shooting for his movie Coolie on the 2nd August 1982, and after 33 years, okay, on 2nd August 2015, you can see Mr. Bachchan coming and waving at the crowd. It's the same Bachchan 33 years back and the same Bachchan a few days ago. Okay.
Okay.
So so he was left clinically dead for a few minutes. That is what he said in his statement very recently. Okay. Now, besides that, you also look at the awards that he has got. Okay, from the Indian government, he has been given the Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan, Padma Shri. The French government has honored him with the highest civilian honor of France, which is called the Knight of Legend, in 2007. Okay, so that brings in even honor. Why? Rahu is a smoky planet. Rahu, whenever Rahu sits in Magha Nakshatra in Leo, you know what it does?
What?
It becomes equal. It becomes equivalent to the sun. It becomes more powerful than the sun. Lal Kitab says Rahu sitting in Leo becomes more powerful than the sun. Why? Why it becomes? Because Rahu is an airy planet. Okay, it's a co-lord of Aquarius, an airy sign. It's an airy planet. It's a higher octave of Shani, which is Saturn. It's a higher octave. Okay. So what it does, whenever it sits in a fiery sign and it sits in a royal sign, Rahu spreads the fire. Jupiter expands. Okay, Rahu spreads.
Yeah.
Because the wind will spread your popularity. If you're popular, it will spread your popularity, your success, okay, across the globe. Or if you say within a region, it might be your village, your town, you become a great leader. Okay, it could be your city, it could be your country, it could be the world. Again, it depends on the avastha and multiple factors of how Rahu is sitting and what it is doing. Say for example, Rahu sitting there in the first pad, okay, it might not give you that many results, but in the second and third it does. Why? Because some of them take Rahu in the Taurus Navamsha pad is exalted. Some take Rahu is exalted in Gemini.
Okay.
Okay. So
and what about
it
the fourth pada?
Fourth pad, Rahu becomes emotional. It becomes more spiritual. Okay. It wants to, Rahu becomes, it wants to grow its family, its lineage. Now it wants to, see, I'll tell you what the padas means, okay, of Magha.
Okay.
The first pad of Magha is Aries Navamsha. So Aries Navamsha means the sun is exalted, which means you have just taken the throne. Okay, you just sat on the throne of Magha, which means you have a lot of pride, you have a lot of leadership. Okay, you want You want to be noticed by everybody, you know, because you have become you're sat on the throne, you become the king now, okay, of all the struggles.
Yeah.
The second one is the Navamsha Pad, where of Taurus. Taurus is a earthy sign. Now, in that pad, any planet sitting there will start settling down. Okay, especially Moon and Rahu, because Moon is exalted there in the second pad of Magha in Taurus, and it also becomes its Mula Trikona, right? So Moon becomes very comfortable. Moon becomes comfortable only in the second pada and the fourth pada. Fourth pada is its own house, Cancer.
Yeah.
Navamsha. Okay.
Exactly.
But Saturn in the first pad becomes debilitated, which means Saturn sitting in Magha first pad is the Aries Navamsha pad, where it is debilitated, which means the soul doesn't know how to react to its past karmic tendencies. It is not prepared, or it cannot.
Right.
It goes through a lot of difficulties if it is Saturn. Remember, Saturn is also an enemy of Sun. Sun is the lord of Leo. Okay, so there is a conflict. Okay, Mars gets, you know, debilitated in the fourth pad. Okay, but Jupiter gets exalted in the fourth pad. What is fourth pad? Okay, sorry, I forgot to tell you about the third pad. Third pad is Gemini. Okay,
right.
Gemini is communication. Now you want to communicate with the people around you. Okay, after having settled down and trying to, you know, find your feet. Okay, now you're a leader, you have found your feet. Third is now you start communicating, you interact with people, you want to take their suggestions.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to ask your Kul Guru, tell me now how I can, you know, expand my kingdom, give me good advice. Right, that is what is the third pada.
Yeah.
The fourth pada is where then you start thinking about, I have to take my lineage ahead. Okay, fourth pada is Cancer. It is emotional, it is motherly, it is protecting your land, motherland. It, you know, it gives you tendencies where now you want to think, you know, reading about knowledge, you know, you want to self-educate yourself, you want to listen to you know, gurus. Why? Because it's sitting in the fourth path and Guru is exalted there.
Yeah.
Okay, it is where you want to think about having children, you know, procreate, so that your lineage can grow. So these are the four paths, and that is how they operate.
Now, is there some significance to saying 33 years ago it was on the fatal day? That any significance, or you just put it there?
No, I just put it because it was there from you know, this thing. I've just taken, it's a quote from
I see. Okay.
the internet. So I just said, you know, 33 years because, you know, it is a near-death experience that he had. But having said that, now I do not know much about Mr. Bachchan, but I know Bachchan, he's a very sattvic guy, and he goes into sadhanas. Okay, he does every day, I believe he does sadhanas, and he goes into deep meditation. And somewhere I feel that he has the power also to do astral travels. Okay, so because Rahu is there, Rahu is a smoky planet, right? So through his sadhanas, he can elevate himself to the higher conscious. He connects very, very easily with you know, our world and the world above,
right?
Or the afterlife, you know, the world of the afterlife. So he has a very strong tendencies, or at least the chart suggests. I do not know.
Okay.
Okay, but he's a very a kind of guy who is very strongly connected with his lineage, very strongly, because Rahu signifies, if I'm not wrong, it signifies, I think, maternal grandfather and paternal grandmother. Ketu signifies paternal grandfather and maternal grandmother.
Okay.
So he is very strongly connected, in my opinion, with, because Rahu is in Magha, but you also see there is nakshatra parivartan, because Ketu is sitting in Rahu's nakshatra and Rahu is sitting in Ketu's nakshatra.
Right.
Parivartan, nakshatra parivartan.
What does that signify in this?
It means that Ketu can come here, Rahu can go there. So it is like, see, what is Rahu Ketu axis? Rahu Ketu axis is where the Samudra Manthan or the churning of the celestial ocean is happening in your life. Okay. That is where even good elements come out from that, even bad elements come. Even the poison comes out, but also Lakshmi comes out of the Samudra Manthan.
Right.
Okay. There is also a Lakshmi who comes out. Then the nectar of life, nectar of immortality also comes, Amrit.
Yeah.
Okay. So whenever there is Rahu Ketu sitting in an axis, and especially it is Lagna, sometimes it becomes very difficult even for the best of the astrologer to predict, because these are karmic planets. Anybody who has Rahu Ketu axis on their Lagna, it becomes extremely difficult even for, this is not my observation, this is something which Professor E.V. Sundaram has taught us. He says it is very difficult to say how their life is going to pan out, because Rahu is a smoky planet, it's an illusion it is creating. Right. And Ketu, they can interchange. So very quickly they can make him sadhak, and very quickly they can make him materialistic.
So you're talking about Rahu, Ketu in the ascendant, or just Rahu in the ascendant? Hard to predict.
Rahu in the ascendant becomes even more hard to predict.
Okay.
Rahu is, because Ketu can give you certain indications of your past life tendencies.
Past life, right.
Yeah, past life, because those are experiences of your past. And many people who have Ketu in the Lagna, they sometimes get stuck in the past life. They do not want to progress. Your progression is your Rahu.
Yeah.
But this gentleman, he has Ketu sitting in the Lagna. Okay. That is when the dialogue comes. मैं जहाँ पे खड़ा हूँ, line वहीं से शुरू हो जाती है.
Yeah.
Which means after him everything comes. He is the emperor. He's the emperor of Bollywood. And Rahu is a planet of Bollywood. Sitting in the royal sign, in the royal chamber, on the throne.
And in the 7th house of masses.
7th house of masses, 7th house of Pada Prapti, which means getting strong, you get the prominence. You get visible.
Right.
And in this chart, you see it is Rahu is taken him to the pinnacle. Rahu. Because he could have remained in his Ketu domain. That is, his Ketu domain is being his sadhak. But what has taken him, if you look at Mr. Bachchan, all his movies, wherever he had acted as a drunkard, his drunken scenes were masterpieces. People say nobody can act, in a drunk scene like Mr. Bachchan does. That is Rahu.
Yeah.
Okay. When Mr. Bachchan dies in his movies, he is glorified. The movie is a super duper hit.
Yeah.
Like Sholay. Rahu, Sholay, where he dies. Sholay is even now watched. Even now it is watched. For many years.
Exactly.
He died. Rahu is Tyaga. It's sitting in Magha. It is Tyaga Shepana Shakti. It is death. When he dies, Rahu is ignited. Rahu ignites, Rahu vibrates. Rahu becomes very powerful. And 7th Lord is popularity. Is Pada Prapti.
Yeah.
He becomes mass appeal.
Yeah.
Okay. So this chart was just to show you how Rahu can become very powerful sitting in Magha Nakshatra.
Yeah.
And that is beautifully shown in this chart.
Yep. I can see that.
Can you go to the next? I think I'll have to really accelerate now. Now I'll be very quick with these charts. Okay, this is a chart of a person who was an American forest ranger from Virginia. He was called as the lightning man. Okay, he was a human light rod. That's what they called him. Why? Because he was struck with lightning 7 times in his life. 7 times, and he survived every time.
Oh my God.
This is from Astro Data Bank. You can go and refer this chart. Yeah. So the final time that he was struck, he says, I felt like I was almost dead in the hospital for 4 days. Okay. So he had a near-death experience. Okay, out-of-body experience. But later after that, it is said in Astro Data Bank that he didn't die because of lightning. He died because he shot himself. Right. So in this chart, you see Lagna is sitting in Magha Nakshatra. Okay.
Yeah.
Now look, where is Sun gone? Sun has gone to the 6th house. Okay.
Right.
So and Ketu has gone to the third house. Third house, as per Bhavat Bhavam, is eighth house from eighth.
Yep.
Okay, and Saturn is debilitated, right? And in Jupiter, if you see, Jupiter is sitting in Jyeshtha Nakshatra. Okay, Jyeshtha Nakshatra, I told you, is ruled by Indra, the lord of lightning.
Right.
Okay, so all these things sometimes you can see, but not see. This is very difficult to say that it is Indra because of that. So everybody who has some planets sitting in Jyeshtha are not struck by lightning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So somewhere the connection is coming from Magha Nakshatra. Magha Nakshatra is Tyaga Shepani Shakti, the power to leave your body or get near death experiences or out of body experiences. That is what it is. Okay, can we go to the next slide?
Yeah.
Okay, again I'll be quick now. Now here what I wanted to show you, it is not only the planets that we think, it is Sun, Moon, Mars, and all these. I have taken outer planets also, and see, outer planets give you significant clues, especially when they are connected with Magha Nakshatra. I've never used outer planets anywhere except Magha Nakshatra. I don't know why. I have got more than 20 charts with me, but I've taken one, Pluto. If Pluto is sitting in Magha Nakshatra, this is a chart of a Brazilian astrologer from Astro Data Bank. Okay, he had a medical emergency in his stomach, and it is believed that he had an out-of-body experiences. He saw a tunnel of light, and at the end of the tunnel of the light, he found his grandfather who was standing there, telling him, asking him to go back. Okay, now Pluto is sitting in Magha Nakshatra. Pluto signifies the underworld. Why? Because Pluto is also the co-lord of Scorpio, the dark house, the natural 8th house of the zodiac.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you see here, Scorpio is the natural 6th house. Oh, sorry, not natural. It's the 6th house of Akala Mrityu for this native. Okay.
What do you mean Akala Mrityu?
Yeah, Akala Mrityu means untimely death.
Oh, untimely death.
6th house is Sixth house is always called as the sthana of Akala Mrityu, which means you have a lot of oxygen remaining, but still you have sudden death.
Yeah.
Okay, but this was not sudden death; it had sudden death-like effect. So sixth co-lord is Pluto of Scorpio in this chart, sitting in the third house. Third house, as I said before, Bhavat Bhavam, 8 from 8. Okay, so Pluto is sitting in Magha, and that is why it gave him this out-of-body experience. Right. Okay. Another thing you see, it was his grandfather who told him to go back. See, Rahu is aspecting this Pluto. His 9th aspect of Rahu on Pluto.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So it was somebody who, it was his forefathers who asked him to go back. Right. Okay. Next.
Yeah.
So this is a chart. Again, I wanted to show you the effect of outer planets, which is Uranus in this case. See, as per our system, there was no outer planets, but certain ancient texts talk about these in terms of Uranus is connected with Indra. Okay, Neptune is connected with Varuna. Okay, Indra is the king of gods. Varuna is the king of the ocean, lord of the oceans or the rains, and Pluto is connected with Rudra. Rudra is Shiva.
Shiva, okay?
So so this is the connection that we give as per the outer planets, but they are not used by Vedic system. But I can vouch for it. Outer planets give you significant clues. Sometimes.
Oh no, I use them. Even now for the past 7-8 months, I started using Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, and I see the results. I absolutely see it.
Yeah, brilliant. So this is a chart of Meera. Meera Richard was the associate of Sri Aurobindo. Okay, she was called the mother. Okay, she became a devotee of Aurobindo, and later on she ran the entire the City of Light ashram for Aurobindo. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what are her experiences that I found on Wikipedia is she says when she was young at 12, okay, she had a lot many out of body experiences. She often found that she was, you know, she was floating above the city, wherever she lived, above the city. She would just go out of her body, traverse out of her house, her
Yeah.
window, and go to the city, and she could see the whole city. She also says in one of her dreams she has encountered a dark Asiatic figure that she calls as Krishna. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so these were the sort of tendencies, the things that she has experienced. Now you see, Uranus is sitting in the fourth house in Magha Nakshatra. Okay,
Yeah.
and Magha as a connection, as I said, with outer body is Tyaga Shepana Shakti, giving her these sort of experiences. And you see, Saturn and Sun are also connecting with Uranus.
Yeah.
Okay, something which is not natural. So can we go to the next slide, Kapil?
Okay.
Okay, this is the last theme that I want to take for today. Is about Pitrudosh or spirit problems. Okay.
Okay.
I repeat, there are multiple other combinations that you have to see for Pitrudosh. Okay, this is not the only one. Here I'm using this Magha Nakshatra to show not Pitru Dosh, typically it shows some unfinished karma of your ancestors because of which you face trouble or you benefit. So usually
Okay.
dosh means you feel the negative heat or the negative elements of that. It is yog means you have benefit, dosh means you suffer. So
Yeah.
somewhere that linkage I want to show with Magha Nakshatras. Again, I
Okay.
repeat, Pitru Dosh can be seen from multiple angles, but today I want to show it through Magha Nakshatra.
Okay.
So can we go to the next slide? See, this is the chart of a volunteer from Saptarishis. Now, what I wanted to show in this chart is Rahu is sitting in first path in Magha Nakshatra.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, what the native says to us is 6 family members of the native family are suffering from a genetic disease of the kidney, which is incurable.
Okay.
5 of them have already died. Okay, all his siblings have died
Okay.
due to this disease of the kidney. Okay, some of them have died very young also. Okay, now this native has been suffering for 17 years. He himself is an astrologer.
Oh man.
Yeah. Now, when one of our volunteers was there at his house, our volunteer, when you're staying in the house, suddenly got a dream of a woman trying to kill the native. This native, not our volunteer.
Oh.
Okay. And the next morning, he gets up and he explains that I had, a weird feeling that I saw a figure hovering over your body, trying to strangulate you or something. And this native of this chart, he said, I had the same dream that there was a woman coming and troubling me. Same dream sometime back. Okay. Now, see his Venus. Venus is sitting in Leo.
Yeah.
Okay. Connected with Rahu. Rahu always denotes the darker side. It's a shadow.
Yeah.
And we know Venus denotes women. Okay. So this is in some way, and it is also sitting in the ninth house. Ninth house is house of fathers, of the elders. Okay.
Yeah.
So somewhere it is showing these sort of incidents are showing that there is a Pitru Dosh in his family. Okay. How did we get to know there is a Pitru Dosh? One, although they do, he says he does Shraddh. He's an astrologer. He does Shraddh. He does all of that. But one thing he told, which struck a bell with us, he says he doesn't get along with his mother at all. They don't see eye to eye.
Okay.
Okay, so somewhere it is activating the Ketu and it is activating the Sun in his chart. Okay, giving him and his family these sort of problems.
So in what way
So
are you, can you explain that the Pitra dosha is formed in this chart? Is it just because exactly what you just explained, or is it like certain planets?
Exactly. No, not every planet can give you Pitra dosh. Even some people can use that in a better way to channelize and connect and become more knowledgeable. One is if you have Rahu sitting in this, need not give you Pitra dosh. Rahu can also give you great ability to connect with the ancients, with the Siddhas, the spiritual technologists that I call, because they had a great technology with them, which we today we call it, okay, this is absurd science, okay, but we know that was technology, right? So we can connect, we can become more knowledgeable. Rahu can give you a lot of wisdom also, but in the same thing, in certain elements like these, these are omens which are telling you or hinting you that there is some sort of spirit problems.
Right.
Okay. Your relationship with your mother, why don't you try to mend? See, the first thing that I would have said to this native, be very kind to your mother. Try to patch up with your mother. Try to see if you can give her more love and try to get back to her, revere her. Maybe somewhere the Pitro dosh should be lessened, so that your future generations are not going to have the kidney problems. Maybe.
Right.
So it is a genetic code that you are doing, and within the genes you are activating an element. It might be an element that was done even by his forefathers. His forefathers might have also treated their mothers badly, or had a disagreement with their mothers. So if the same mistakes are repeated again and again, the genetic code which is encoded in you will be transmitted to the next generation and to the next and next. So somebody who realizes this secret should come and put a stop, so that your future generations are not going to be, their life is going to be much better.
Yeah. Okay.
So realization, he's an astrologer, but he should realize this. Okay. But that is karma, that is prarabdha. I cannot change it, you cannot change it.
Yeah.
Right? We can only make suggestions that be nice to elders, be nice to people, be nice to gurus, because it's in the 9th house.
Exactly.
Okay. Be kind, do not steal vidya. Do not steal vidya, 9th house.
Yeah.
Okay. Why? The Rahu and Ketu during the Samudra Manthan, they wanted to get the share. Swarna Bharnu was actually the demon. The Swarna Bharnu's head was called Rahu and his torso was called as Ketu.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go to the next slide. Okay. This is another slide from another volunteer. Okay. See, we couldn't get too many charts from Astro Data Bank because nobody talks about all these, because they do not know, that this is. Yeah. So sometimes whenever people come and talk to us, now look at this chart. Moon is sitting in Magha Nakshatra. Okay, in the 3rd pad.
Yeah.
Now, Moon, I said, can give you significant clues, and Moon in Magha Nakshatra can be good. One, it is sitting in his friendly sign of Leo, okay, which is friendly, and it is. But you see, 3rd pad obviously goes into his Gemini Navamsha pad, which is Mercury and Sun do not get along, which means Mercury doesn't get along with Sun. Sun gets along with Mercury.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Mercury is the son of Moon as per Chandra.
Right.
Okay. It is an illegitimate child of Chandra. Buddhi. Buddha was the illegitimate child of Chandra. Chandra is Moon. Buddhi or Buddh is Mercury. Okay. So Mercury doesn't like Moon, the child. Now in this chart, Moon is the 8th lord of inheritance. Okay, sitting in the 9th house of father. This native has had a huge fight with his father and his mother over inheritance. Okay, he wanted to get a share from the inheritance and whatever is it. Okay, he said he had a huge fight. The fight was so big, he says, okay, he had even removed a revolver and put it on his father. Can you believe that?
Oh man.
That big fight. Can you believe it? Yeah. So that is the level of why, because you see Mars and Rahu energy from his lagna. Mars and Rahu are sitting. Mars is revolver. Rahu is giving you that. Mars and Rahu can give you, and he was drunk, he says, when he removed the revolver.
Yeah.
Okay. With this ninth aspect, Rahu is taking the Mars's energy and aspecting Moon, sitting in Magha Nakshatra. After that incident, he says he has never spoken to his mother or met his mother ever. Okay. Now the daughter of this native has been seeing spirits of his father, which means the native's father or the daughter's grandfather, walking in the house.
Oh my God.
Right?
Jesus.
Because his relationship with his mother, yeah. So incidentally, the native is very dominant and aggressive. He's a great businessman. Okay, but you see how these things are impacting, and now how the native is suffering is his wife, okay, doesn't allow him access to his phone, his mobile phone. Why?
What?
Because she believes that, yes, she believes that he has an extramarital affair. Look at this gentleman. Okay, 1954 born. He's over 60 years. What is he going to do? Why is this activating? Look at this chart. Seventh house is wife.
Yeah.
Third from there is the communication equipment.
Yeah.
Okay. The wife is denying him of communicating with the out of the world. He doesn't communicate with anybody because his wife is controlling him now. Can you believe? See, certain things, your mother, you have spoiled your relationship, you had your gun on your father. These are things that you shouldn't be doing. It's adharmic. Yeah. Okay? Your pitrus, and this person has never done shrad in his life. So those karmic tendencies of that lineage is going to transfer for generations. If they do not realize, if they are not being told, you have to rectify it.
Right.
So, okay, Kapil, I think that brings us to the end of this session. I think it was a long session, but I had to do this session because I had to cover.
It was well worth it. Let me tell you, this was amazing. I mean, I'm probably gonna email you for the next Nakshatra class, but this is like the most amazing lesson you can get in astrology. Amazing.
Thanks, Kapil. I know sometimes I take too much time to explain the concepts, but these concepts, if you understand, that is when then people will stop coming to you and asking, I have Mars sitting in Magha Nakshatra. Tell me what is going to happen. Now I've given you the fish. I tell my students, I do not want to give you the fish. I want to give you the fishing rod. I give you the fish. I'll feed you for today. If I give you the fishing rod, I'll feed you for life.
Exactly.
Nakshatras, I want to give you the fishing rod, not the fish.
Exactly. Absolutely.
This is what I tell my students, and we started this course, the webinar. I tell all my students, I want all of you to get the fishing rod, and tomorrow you will come back and teach me new concepts of nakshatras.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, and I am gonna see you very, very soon, Doctor. Thank you so much. Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.